knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Jump and shout all over the nation. Breaking out with a new creation.
In January 2023, a Belizean delegation was in California, where Master Forest Gardener Dr. Narciso Torres received the Chancellor's Medal from the University of California, Santa Barbara. Our Belize Watch team traveled to Santa Familia Village in the Cayo District, where we met up with Dr. Torres. We will have that conversation after we hear from our partners, the Belize Tourism Board, Shell Belize Limited, and Debari.
Traveler, are you?
Shell V Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Go well, go Shell.
We are Debari, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. Debari. Get more? Belize.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
And I'm with Master Forest Gardener Don Narciso Torres, or Dr. Narciso Torres, because what you know is deserving of a doctorate, Dr. Narciso Torres, right? Congratulations. Let me congratulate you for receiving the Chancellor's Award at the University of Santa Barbara in California, right?
Yes.
Thank you for what you have done for Belize, because you have represented our country well and you have received this prestigious award. Now, how did it feel when you were receiving the award?
Wow, that was a wonderful experience. Because I never expected in life. I guess my work called for a reward that for what I've been doing for the sake of love of our country and the love of my people, my village, my community, and I think for Latin America too, because I'm representing all the even the Caribbean nations too, because what I'm doing is not only for me, it's for all of us.
No, let's get to know you then. How did all this start? Who is Dr. Narciso Torres? Were you born around here?
Well,
let's start from the beginning.
Okay, I am a native of my village. I born in Santa Familia village, Cayo District, Belize, Central America. I started when one day I met the team that was working here in this area here. We call Bakabna area.
Mm-hmm.
So one day there was like there were 13 gates. So I did open one for them when they were coming in, and then I asked one of them, the the co-director, Scott Fedrick, if I could get a job. But I already was doing forest gardening already.
Well, let's go back to that. Already doing forest gardening. How did that start? How did you
Well,
start doing forest gardening?
yes, because I saw no I read a quote in the Bible that said don't plant what seems to be, but plant thing that will be permanent. So I started. I had that idea that God was calling me for doing something different, like I see planting trees that will produce fruit for the future. Because planting like things that seems to be like are like beans and corn, because they are only 3 months and they fade away or they disappear, but the trees will stay there. So those are permanent. So I started from that point to see the benefit, and it benefits me a lot because since I had so much children, I work, but the money was not enough. So I did this work, and that did help grow my children.
Can you recall how old you were when you first felt the urge to do gardening, forest gardening?
I was 17,
Okay.
17 years old when because I was I never know to really read Spanish good. So I tried many books, but then I turned to get a Spanish Bible, and then I read it from the beginning to the end, and I find that quote that said, "Don't plant things that seems to be, but plant things that are permanent."
Okay.
So that's did help me to encourage me to do this kind of work.
Now, what's the difference between forest gardening and regular gardening, like a regular backyard garden and being a forest gardener? What's the difference there?
Well, because in the forest gardening, you don't only have edible plants, but you have also you have medicinal plants and plants that are for construction and for even for firewood, because we are I think we are contaminating too much the air by using gases that are not good for our environment. So we need to burn less gas and to burn more firewood to make it more
Sustainable.
more sustainable for our human development and for all people.
And so this is your plot that we're standing on, right? This is where you do
Yes.
what you love the most.
Yes, this is where I started to do this when I was 17. I did when I got the area, I cut everything down, but I saw the mistake that I did, because I have to start from zero. But I don't regret, because I had the chance to put or to bring different species of plant that are endangered, like in the forest. So I brought some of them here, and some of them did come by the birds. Like for example, this bukut here, I didn't plant this one there,
Oh.
and the bird planted for me.
This is a huge boko tree
Yes,
here, right?
Yes. And so I took this advantage of the shade to plant the the cacao and avocado here, and other trees that you don't maybe don't recognize. This is a rubber tree and a trumpet tree, and
Well, I want to walk around your garden,
Yes,
your forest garden.
yes.
But before we do that, I need to I have one or two things I wanted to ask you. Well, I can recall some time ago, right? And you might recall this experience that we were, I think, at El Pilar,
El
or
Pilar, yes.
in that area, and that's when I had just met you.
Yes,
And let me tell you, that impression stayed
Uh-huh.
because we were at El Pilar,
Yes.
And I can remember I was holding my microphone just like I'm doing right now,
Yes, like the
and
same
something stung my hand here.
yes.
I don't know what it was,
Yeah.
but it swole.
It was a
It was
ductile fly.
swollen, so swollen.
Yes.
Right, I couldn't hold the microphone anymore.
Yes.
My hand just
Yes.
was got huge, right?
Yes.
And you say, hold on, right? And you saw it happening. Because I
Yes,
tried
yeah.
to hold the microphone as long as I could have,
Yes.
but you said, hold on, and then you went and you took some thing from the
plants,
from
yes,
plants. You
some
went and
leaves,
you
some
took
leaves.
some leaves. You chewed the leaves, right?
Yes.
And then you put it on my hand, and then things start to go down.
Yes.
I remember, I was amazed by that. I always remember that experience.
And that's why that's the reason I'm trying to protect the most of plants that are beneficial for humans, for humanity, because there's a lot of medicinal plants that we don't know, or we don't or take it for granted, that are being endangered by people or that don't know or not educated, by using chemicals on them, so they won't come back, and we are losing some type of some kind of them that we don't have anymore around. But that plant that I use for your for that special sting or bite that the Dr. Fly did, it was a piper. It is called the queen of the bottomwoods.
Okay.
Called queen of bottomwoods. It's a poisonous plant.
Okay. So it drew out the poison.
Yes,
It
exactly.
drew out the poison. That's
Yes.
what it did, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it killed the poison. It killed the poison because
Well, it was quick.
yes.
It was not like, okay, I have to wait or
No,
anything. I
no,
just
that's
saw it.
work. That's very effective. So you got different kinds of those like pipers. One are used for bites. One is used for cut and wounds. Other are used for bats. Yes,
Snake bites, huh?
yeah, yes, for snake bite. The snake bite one, the one for the snake bite is the queen of the bottomwoods.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that I use for your hand. But people will drink it too when they get the snake bite. They will drink that.
As well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's how you're chewing it. Why did so it had to be dissolved, right?
You don't have to chew it real normally, but you could you rub it.
Chewing it was
Yeah,
faster,
yeah, you quick it.
to make a paste, no?
Yeah, make a little paste, and because sometimes you need to add a little water. But so the saliva is also something that got some power too.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So you see, and then the other thing I remember that you taught me some years ago was I remember we went to a forest garden at a school, a garden at a school, and the mahogany trees were planted in the shade of the larger trees.
Yes.
And you said, okay, the mahogany tree needs shade to grow, right? And I've told that story over and over. You know, it needs a shade to grow, so it flourishes in the shade. So I said, oh, that's where Sub-Umbra floreum might have come from the fact that this tree, which is our national tree,
Yes,
and it's a huge, biggest tree in the forest,
Yes.
needs shade to flourish. It
Yes.
flourishes in the shade, and then it
And
becomes
then-
that big tree.
and then-
Talk to me about that. About that.
Mahogany trees are very important plants. We are almost endangering them in the present time because people are harvesting them because
The value, no?
because of the value, but then they are not giving them time to make seeds. So that's it's worrisome for me because where are the new trees will come from? So, but the mahogany trees, once you plant in the shade and you got a big tree on the side, it will compete to try to get to the top.
right.
So the plants need competition, like lumber tree need competition, but other trees like that are maybe for food or other thing, they need more sunlight.
But what will happen to the mahogany tree if we planted it out in the sun, for example?
Well, yeah, they will grow short.
But if you want it to grow tall, you plant it in the shade.
In the shade, and it will along
on the tree.
on the side of a tree that is bigger than them. So they'll try to compete with this one and try to catch the sun.
Yeah.
They grow faster.
That's the understanding I have of sub umbra floreo,
Yes,
because then you
yes,
could always use it to as our parents, we're under the shadow of our parents,
yes, exactly.
they take care of us,
Just like
and we flourish and we become big eventually.
that's part of the wealth untold. Like
Yeah.
we
Part of
got
our
so
history.
yeah, like there's so many things that people don't know, and we are losing them because the people will not tell it unless they are being paid, and I don't go that way because I I'm come here as a servant of the world, not as a boss. I'm a I want to be a servant always, not to be on the like a ruler or something like that. I want to serve.
Well, that is what Jesus taught us, and because you said you read the Bible from top to
Yes,
bottom,
exactly.
and Jesus taught us that because he took out a basin and a cloth, and took a towel cloth and he washed the feet of his disciples,
Exactly.
right? And so he showed humility,
Yes.
that it's important to be humble and to be that servant thing.
Exactly,
And
yes.
servant leadership is often sometimes the most effective kind of leadership.
Yes, that's the way I see that humans should be because we come as a helper of the master, because he gave us this earth to take care of it, not to destroy it. And if we don't take care of it, we are destroying ourselves. It's simple as that, because if you don't take care of your home and you contaminate your home, who lives in there?
Yeah,
Oh,
you.
we.
Yeah.
So that's the same way that the master said, take care of what are giving us to take care of.
Yeah. It goes back to that rule: love your neighbor as you love yourself. You take care of yourself, you learn to love yourself, you learn to love what's around you, then you can readily appreciate your neighbor who is your fellow man, and where he or she comes from, right?
Yes.
So that's where it's all.
That's it's all about to share and serve and forget and forgive.
Yes, forget and that's very important. Forget and forgive.
Yes.
Because I remember, I think we get biblical now,
Yes, yes, I
Dr.
know,
Torres.
but,
But remember in the Bible, when they say, how many times should I forgive? You say, as much as necessary. But it's a good lesson to learn from a master forest gardener.
yes, because
Right? Because you're in
we
harmony with nature and how things
we
work.
we all that we are being given by the master, we should take care of it, because most of them are beneficial to us. Even though that you might say, well, this bush is not good for us, but they are producing oxygen for us. And even though they might not produce a fruit for us, but they are doing something great for us too.
So let's look around your forest garden. And how large is it?
It's 5.5 acres. Yes.
Well, let's see what all you have planted here, and let's see what we can learn. Where do you want us to start?
Well, we're going this way, and that's
We start wherever you want us to start, Dr. Narciso.
okay. So I got a special plant here that we got called poly redhead. It's called Ishkanan in Maya, and it's a very important plant because this is you could take it internally and externally. It's a plant that in Spanish they call it sanolotodo.
Sanalo todo. That's cure everything.
That means that cures everything.
This little plant here,
This plant here.
I would have just passed it,
And also it's when they say sanolotodo, it's uses for many things. So you could use it for a cut, for a if you get a bruise or have a mosquito bite or
Same thing that we
yes,
talk about.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This plant is a very special plant.
Sanalo todo.
Sanolotodo is
Cure everything.
cures all.
Cure all.
Uh-huh. So it's a poly redhead in English.
Poly redhead.
Poly redhead.
Poly redhead.
Yes.
Okay. This is what, krabu, no?
This is a krabu tree here.
Uh-huh.
And krabu is well, it produces some fruits, but also the bark is also medicinal.
Oh, that's why you got some cuts here and
No,
things.
the branches that are going to the
To
road.
ah.
But the bark you could use it as a cure for dysentery.
Uh-huh.
This is the bark you drink when you got that if you got a loose stool too, You boil the bark and drink that. That fix you. Yeah, get you good again. So there's many things that are around that you sometimes you don't.
I look at this as just something, a piece of bush we're going
Yes,
to pass by.
yes. This is called jack in the bush, but this is a special plant.
You got a smell too?
Yeah.
That's what I'm smelling?
Yes, supposed to be.
Yeah, it has a strong smell.
This one is used for body ache. When you have
Body ache?
a body ache, you feel somebody beat you up and your body is like achy.
Uh-huh.
You take a handful of this and boil it
Oh,
and
yeah?
take a bath with it and goes away.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
It has a unique smell.
And it produces some pretty little flowers,
Uh-huh.
like in clusters.
Yeah.
It's a special plant.
I would have passed it again, just as
Yes,
just
that-
a
that-
plant.
all of them that you see here have a benefit. That
Hold on one over there,
this
Doc.
one is a bee cedar.
Uh-huh.
Bee cedar is a special plant for also for congestion. I guess it's when you have a hard tummy,
Uh-huh.
you boil
In
the bark.
Uh-huh.
You hard time going to the restroom.
To the restroom, huh?
You boil the bark and drink that juice.
So it's a laxative then?
Yes, it's something like that, but it's not a purge. It's not a purge.
Okay. But why are these little things on the
These
leaf?
are
Look at the leaf. I noticed a lot of...
these are kind of infection
Oh, it's an
or
infection.
so
Okay.
that those
So you wouldn't use those leaves? You'd
no
use,
you don't use the bark.
Oh, it's the bark.
The
Okay.
bark,
Oh, you
yes.
don't use the leaves at all?
No, you could use the leaf as long as they are good. If they are good, they could use the leaves, but not them.
Not the ones that are infected.
No, no.
Okay.
And these, if these trees are not around, people would catch this in their skin because the trees get it for us.
Okay.
So that is helping the human from not getting it because this is a virus.
Oh, so you are saying that what the tree captures
Yes.
here
Yeah.
in its leaves would have affected a human being.
Exactly.
So the tree itself captured the virus
Yes.
and try to take it onto itself. That's what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, that's it.
Amazing. So that's why these leaves are like that.
Exactly. You see how this one is?
Uh-huh.
It's like when people get the wart on them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
So trees are beneficial. They are helpers. They are on our side always. But we
So this absorbed a lot of... Viruses.
Yes, exactly. Infection. Yes.
Okay, I didn't think of it that way.
Well, this is the way I've learned and been guided by the Spirit because.
So you're a very spiritual man, like I've noticed.
I've become a little bit more spiritual nowadays because I see the benefits of it. Because we get messages from them too, like that.
From God.
Yes, from God. Yes, exactly. So we talk about the buko tree or not?
Yes, let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. That I'm learning.
Yes, the buko tree have some fruits already, but they are not ready.
So this big tree had a bukut.
Yes. So it got some fruits already, but the trees, the bukut itself is a tonic. When it's ripe, when it gets ready, you could soak it in the water for 2 or 3 days, and then when you open it, you get the syrup, and that make you enrich your blood cells, your red blood cells, and then the leaves is a purge.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you could take 1 glass of that for if you have a bad stomach or something that you need a purge. You could take a handful and boil it and drink a glass of that, and you have to run to the place.
Loosen you up, no?
Yes, exactly.
And those trees that you're looking at, that's crabo again.
That's crabo. With that one there is a we call it
Guava too?
no, that's a cut. We call it cut tree.
What?
Cut.
Cat. This is cat.
Cut is a like cat, not like see not like a cat. It's produced like something like the like it produced the fruit like just like a cow, but people call it cow okra or wild okra.
Okay.
but the name is cut.
And what's it good for again?
This is for fresh colds. When it's ripe, you boil it with a sugar, with some brown sugar, and then you make like a syrup. Maybe go step on
You
and
want to go closer?
step on and take a look at the fruit.
So we're taking a look at the fruit. Oh, yeah.
When they are very young, you could have them as pickles. If you could break when it's young, you could break it here. If it breaks, it's young. It's like okra.
It looks like an okra.
Yes, that's why they call it cow okra. Okra for cow. Cow like it a lot.
Okay.
But when it's young, you could also use it as a pickle, soak it in vinegar, and have it to eat.
Yeah, I see a few younger bits up there.
Yeah, so this is also a medicinal plant. So
We will continue our tour with Dr. Torres after we hear from our partners, Belize Tourism Board, Shell Belize Limited, and Debari.
I'm a Belizean traveler. Are you?
Shell V Power with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
We are Debari, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, Sa Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. Debari. Get more? Belize.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
Tell you
I got
what
that.
I saw.
See, I put this like for example, this avocado. I put it here, but when this get more mature, I'll get rid of this one here. So I got only the avocado because avocado don't like much competition.
So this is an avocado tree.
Yes, that's a young avocado.
But you use the shadow of this tree to
Yes,
plant the young
yeah,
avocado
exactly,
tree.
exactly.
So you plant it in the shadow of this tree.
Oh, exactly, and then when this go more a little bit mature, I cut the branches, and I have a low tree here, and this will overcome this other tree here.
Okay. And I guess you come around, so you usually do it back there, right?
Yes, the flood bring all of those things.
Oh, this was flooded? This area was flooded?
Came to the road where your car is, the river.
The river came all the way?
Yes, the river came way to where you have your car right now.
Okay.
Yes, so it cover all this area here.
All of here was covered with water. What goodness.
So people talk about strongback.
Another plant I would have passed just like that.
Yes, it's call it strongback. We call it in Spanish. We call it mozote in Spanish. So it's
Strongback.
Strongback. It's when people say they have a backache too much, so you root a tree and boil the whole tree with the root, and for that kind of the illness or that pain that you have in your back. So that's important little plant here, but
Yeah, you'll have passed and just, because you don't know.
You cut the seed, you put it in your plant, you take.
Huh?
It's very invasive though. It's very invasive.
Oh, these stick.
Oh, yes, yes,
yeah.
they're
You
stick.
always pass on the stick on your clothes,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
You can see it will stick
Yes,
on your
it will
clothes.
stay there.
It will stay on your clothes. Yeah, put it there.
Uh-huh. You
It
can make a
stays.
design with them.
It stays on your clothes.
Yes.
And sometimes we say, "Oh, this is a nuisance," but we don't know the value
we
of
don't know
it.
the value of them. So people make a complaint about, I got this thing here, and
Stick up.
yes, and start to quarrel and say bad words and things.
You don't know you got a strong back.
We got a good medicine here. Here we got a almond tree. This is I bring some leaves to like a pile of leaves that people want to get rid of it. So some of the seeds came in and they start to grow here, but I don't let them make much leaves because so whenever they make a lot of leaves, I'll cut them because I'm making the soil more richer by making more compost.
Okay, use it for compost.
Yes. And all of this area had corn. All this area had,
Okay.
and the birds.
So say, leave it over
Yes,
here.
and there's some that was left too. So I got beans too, a kind of beans that we call lab lab. Lab lab beans is a very lab lab beans. But it's a very strong and resistant tolerant for the climate. So it's a hard beans, but it's edible.
Can we open one?
Yes, sir.
Anyone?
Anyone, yes.
Let me see how it looks like. Lab beans.
Yes, they are hard. They are tough beans, but this kind of beans you need to boil it 2 times.
2 times.
Yeah, 2 times.
But what, tastes nice?
Yes, yes. We make boyo out of it and tamales.
Lab.
Yeah. So if you want to have a seed, you plant it in the city. This is not delicate, it's a very strong
So you can plant this in your backyard in the city?
Yes, you can plant that. Yes.
Okay.
This is not delicate. I tell you, it's insect resistant. This one is
So you have to know what you're talking about there.
So this one is a wire whisk. Wire whisk. It's for curing athlete's foot. Like
Fungus?
fungus on the feet.
Uh-huh.
You need to root a tree, one of the trees to get the root. As you boil the root and to wash the affected area.
Okay.
Yes, this is a very powerful medicine. That's why I have them like this. I don't cut them because I need to save them because we are losing them in the jungle, and eventually we won't have them if people continue the way they are doing it because they are destroying everything and they're using herbicide because people don't want to use the machete again.
Okay. So what you call it?
Wire whisk.
Wire wrist?
Wire whisk.
Wire whisk.
Bejuco de alambre.
Bejuco
decimos.
de alambre. And that's because it looks like wires, right?
Yes, you see.
It looks just like wires.
Yeah, just like wire, see?
Yeah. It's just like wires.
Yeah, exactly just like wire. And they are beautiful leaves. I like the leaves that they have. It's like a Christmas tree leaf.
It's like a fern or something like that.
It's like fern, yes, exactly. So I love them, I like them, so I try to save them the most I could.
Yeah. And you have taught me just now that I should not even ignore little trees like this,
Yes,
right?
no, these are part of the environment that are helping us to get the fresh air that we breathe. And we don't understand that. But even them, they get infected by little insects too. So this one, when you know how
There's a little insect in there.
yeah, there's a little screwworm.
So he's feeding up.
Yes, and then if you let them, he will eat all the leaves of this plant and kill the plant sometime. But if you don't have much of this plant, they come to alter your plant.
Good one. They
To
want good ones.
the one that you plant, they'll come and have that. Those.
So you have to plant in harmony. Basically, that's what I'm understanding
Yes,
from you. You have to,
exactly.
everything you do have to harmonize.
Exactly. It's going this way. So I got tamarind,
Tamarind,
pepper.
This is what kind of pepper? This
This
is
is a tricolor pepper. Tricolor. It's three color because it appear white and no appear green and then turn white and then it turn
wow.
marv and then they turn orange. Yes, it's a special kind of pepper.
Okay.
So here I had planted some peanuts, but they never make it. So I planted beans, but it was kind of a little late already for the beans. So what I did now is put a row of corn in between.
Mm.
So I got corn in between, but the beans are getting ready, but they are not. It's not a lot because I lose all my seeds on the first beginning because I planted about 30 pounds of beans and I lost everything. So this is the last plant that I did.
And then the bean is what kind of bean? Red kidney?
Red beans.
Can I pull one of these?
Yes. It's a red kidney beans.
Yeah, let's. There it is. Red kidney beans.
Yeah. So here I got isote.
This is what? What is this? You said?
Isote.
Isote. ¿Qué quiere decir isote?
Isote is I think they call it yucca or yakka or something like that. They call it, but it produce a fruit, a cluster of flowers that is edible. It's for eating, just like
Okay.
cabbage. So my corn gone bad because
Hurricane.
hurricane,
And your absence.
animals got them all. Animals got them all. Mhm.
Yeah, so the corn gone in.
Yes, gone in. Here
What's
I got
happening
a
here?
little, pepper
Pepper bed.
pepper plants already growing here. These are everything is board pepper.
Okay.
You can see the little trees already.
No,
here.
we always talk about habanero pepper.
Yes.
What's the difference between the habanero pepper and the bull pepper? I know the bull pepper is a little small one.
Yes, small one, but the flavor is different.
Uh-huh.
Because for example, if you grow this kind, the taste is different. It's, you want to eat more. It's just like ice cream. The more you eat, the more you want. The flavor, even it's burning, but you still want it. It's have a special flavor.
So it's addictive.
Yes.
Bird pepper.
Bird pepper, yes.
So we usually just know about the habanero and that.
These are bird peppers. So I got the culantro on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Look, these are.
You have to be careful because you tend to I guess. Culantro would be this one, right?
Yeah, that one.
This one, yeah.
These are the flower and the seed.
Oh, this one.
This is.
Okay. What are these?
This is a ornamental plant, also medicinal plant. It's bohemia. It's called bohemia. But I got a beans tree here too, growing on it.
So this is supporting this beans tree here?
Yes, exactly. It had more beans. I collected the beans already. Only these are for seed. If you want to keep this for seed, you could plant it.
So I could plant this?
Yes,
just
sir,
take out the
yes.
seeds that are in there?
Yes, you could plant the
I
seeds.
could just take a little peep because I don't want to lose it, but
No, it's black beans.
black beans.
It's we call it ispelong.
Oh, there it is. There's the black bean.
Ispelong, we call it.
There's the black bean. Yeah.
So the beans grow here. So it had a lot of beans, but I put it here for the sake of people taking it. They
What
are.
would this do if they make mistake and
I
grab this
don't
and
know.
think this is
I don't
beans?
know.
and
They will
deal
not
with
eat it. When they go home and check it, they will not eat it because it's not a beans really. See?
Yeah, you're right.
Huh?
You'll find something completely different.
Yeah,
inside.
different. Yes.
But what is inside of this is good for anything?
I think it's for they call it cure for yellow fever.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, yellow fever cure.
Yellow fever cure? All right. Yellow fever cure.
So all this I had beans growing here, but everything died because of the rain. So you got the 12 o'clock plant, the sleeping. See?
Yeah, you always see that when you come closer to it, you go sleep.
Yeah.
You touch it and you go to sleep.
Yeah. Also, there
Those will stick on your pants as well,
yes.
right?
Even sometimes I don't normally mention this because this is a very powerful medicine.
The same sleeping plant, yeah.
When you have a very tough pain that you can stand it, you need to boil a little bit of this and have a little, not too much, because it's very strong.
Okay.
A very strong medicine. So I recommend people if they want to use it, they have to be careful and use it in moderation.
Yeah. Doing it too strong could cause what? What would that
Well,
cause?
could cause you maybe a heart attack.
Serious?
Yes.
This little plant, right?
That little plant.
If I have used this little plant here,
Yes, that little plant here could cause something different. But it's good for taking off the pain of the body.
okay, but you have to know the quantity that you use.
You don't
right?
take a big amount. Every time, everything you have to go by moderation. Yes, you don't take a big glass full. You know, maybe you take a tablespoon or a teaspoon to experiment first. Because if you don't have never tried, you shouldn't take much of this thing here.
And that's important because we don't want anybody to go and drink a whole glass full.
No, because I don't know really the effect. I haven't taken, but I know that it works. So the plant that I show you there, with the jack in the bush that I was telling you here. This is the one we mentioned there in the beginning. These have flowers. See the flower of these are
Jack in the bush.
yeah, jack in the bush. This is for body ache. Yes.
The flowers are useful or just the leaves?
I think the flower, you could use the flower as long as they are not dry.
Okay.
All of we the one. See what I mean?
You don't put up a scarecrow for the birds?
They are not afraid again of
They don't feel
scarecrow.
like the sick scarecrow. They're friendly towards
That's
scarecrow.
a long time
It's a
story.
long time story, no?
Yes. So I got beans here, black beans growing here too.
Okay.
So I getting some insects already, but I plant it's a late crop because it was too wet here. When I started to plant, it's very wet.
We have a whole row of them here.
Yes, this whole area here is black beans. So this one are jicama seeds or jicama.
Yeah, jicama is good.
Yes, I got this whole row is jicama.
Its own seeds.
Yes, I need to collect so that soon. I need to harvest the jicama soon. We walk this way. I got some other little plants that maybe this is like a white radish. That's white radish.
It's the same bean again, right?
That's the same beans again. Yes. I got some carrots, and this is pigweed. Verdolaga. A very important food plant.
For what?
It's got omega
Omega 3?
omega 3. It's when people start to get like very flaquito.
When they start to get slim, when they start to lose
very
weight.
thin and lose weight like very quickly. You need to take this one here
Okay.
to get back their to their normal size.
We call it pig what?
Pigweed,
Pigweed.
but it's called verdolaga. It's verdolaga in Spanish.
Okay. Tipiling.
Chipiling is good for making a soup with rice. I mean the leaves, the seeds are propagating.
Okay. And so the leaves are what you would put in the
In the rice.
rice.
Yeah, and the seeds look like pepper seeds, but you want to keep some, you will plant some.
Okay. Yeah, we'll plant some of these.
Yeah, these are edible leaves. You could do soup, and you add it to the soup, the leaves, and so good.
Yeah, you have to smell indeed. And then okra.
Okra, yes, it just came up by itself.
Okay.
This
It's huge.
is goat horn okra.
Okay.
This is different. It's a local okra. They grow very big sometimes.
And the seeds are there, right?
Yeah, these are the seeds. Yes. This is kind of mature already, but insect got them sometimes quickly.
Then you have your sugar cane.
Yeah, I got the sugar cane on this side, a lot of sugar cane. This is a white sugar cane. Um, this is here I got a pomegranate.
Oh, this is pomegranate?
Yes, pomegranate tree.
It's a young one, right?
There's a young one.
It's
This I
young.
planted last year.
But pomegranate are very good. There's a lot of little seeds in the
Yes,
fruit.
yes.
Delicious.
Very delicious. I got some big trees too.
My wife loves pomegranate.
I got when they produce, they normally don't get much because of the animals, the birds will pick them, and the squirrel will take them away. And I got a lot of friends that need it, like the animals that don't have a machete like me.
This is
That's we call this susumba.
Kusumba.
It's edible like chaya too, but this need to be careful because they got prickles underneath sometimes under the leaves.
Oh,
See?
there's a big one, yeah.
But it's edible. It's an edible leaf. That's why I don't. And the insect like it a lot. So that's why the reason I keep it for insects. And if somebody want to have it, they could have it. It's also a medicinal plant. And
What is it good for?
I think it's the anti-wart plant.
Anti-wart.
Wart plant, yes.
So you have a wart on your hand, you
Yeah, you
apply
eat
this.
that.
You eat it, or I thought you
Yeah,
applied it on
you
the
eat
wart?
it. Yeah, you eat this. Or you could use the seed too. The fruit, I mean, and you heat it over the fire, and then you open it and put it on top of the wart, and it will disappear in now. You don't know when it will disappear. It will disappear.
Wow.
So I got some. I planted a few cassavas,
Cassava.
but most of the cassava are being nibbled by the wild rabbit. See, they are digging it.
It's a wild rabbit that dug that hole?
Yes, you see, dug that a tree already there.
Yeah, it's here and here.
He's digging it out because they are hungry, and because all my neighbors are not planting nothing for them. They are just planting the beans, and they want something else. They can't only have beans, so they will come and have it. And I'm planning to make a little zoo somewhere to try to put them in a place and feed them instead of because if I don't do that, they will continue damaging my crops like this.
So you have your challenges.
Yes,
What's this here?
This is cabbage bark. I brought this from Pilar. It's a little tree, cabbage bark tree. We call it manchich in Spanish. Uh-huh.
That's good for any medicinal purpose? Or?
No, it's construction purposes.
Okay.
Construction. So when we were talking about the mahogany, so I put a mahogany here, close to this big tree here, so it's going high.
It's going high.
Yes.
But you planted it in the shadow of a big tree.
A big tree, yes.
So no, it's bigger than almost bigger than the tree it was planted
Yes,
under.
getting over it,
It's
and
going over the trees it was
and,
planted under.
I got a next tree here. It's a siricote going on the side too, going up.
But all these trees are planted in the shade, like you said. And
Yes,
they just grow.
under the shade, yes.
So most plants though require some sort of shade in their infancy, right?
Yes, most of them is like shade a little bit because if not, they will not flourish.
Yeah.
So,
So under the shade we flourish.
yeah.
Sub umbra floreo.
Yes,
Now, custard apple. Anyone are they ready yet?
Yes, yeah, we got some.
What?
We got
I
some.
love custard apples.
We'll get some. We'll get some for you. We'll make you take home. This one this tree here we call sokots.
Sokots?
Sokots.
Yeah.
It's we call it monkey cap.
Monkey cap.
Monkey cap in English.
Yeah.
Sokots.
Sokots, yeah.
It's a very nice fruit, but it don't have the 18 years yet to produce because it produces in the 18 year. After 18 years, have to produce.
It's associated with the name of San Jose Sokots, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because there were a lot of these trees around in the
around
area.
The river bank.
On the river bank.
On the river bank, yes.
And so San Jose
San Jose.
became San Jose
Sokots,
Sokots because
yes.
of the Sokots tree.
Of the Sokot tree. Exactly.
Good.
St. Ignatius High School in Santa Elena has been collaborating with Dr. Torres for more than 6 years. Principal Vanessa Neal spoke to us about the benefits of the collaboration when we come back. We take a break to hear from our partners, Belize Tourism Board, Shell Belize Limited, and DeBarry.
I'm a Belizean traveler. Are you?
Shell V Power with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
We are DeBarry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, or York, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. DeBarry. Get more? Piles.
It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
I'm at St. Ignatius High School in Santa Elena Tongue, which is one of the tongues that make up the twin tongues of San Ignacio and Santa Elena in the beautiful Cayo district in the most beautiful country in the world, Belize. Right? It sounds so good to say that, no? The most beautiful country in the world, Belize. And with Principal Vanessa Neal of the St. Ignatius High School. Vanessa, thank you so much for receiving me here at St. Ignatius.
Thank you, Dr. Rene Villanueva. Of course, you've been a special friend of the Ignatius family, and you've also been a mentor for not only the principal, but to many on our staff.
It's a pleasure to be back here, right? Especially after the COVID pandemic and what have you. And it's good to see you again and see you in such good shape.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you for being here. And you were missed. Yes, truly, you were missed. But I'm glad that you're here with us, and you will continue visiting us, of course, you and your team. And, of course, the Love Foundation, Love FM, etc., the entire family. You've always supported our high school, St. Ignatius High School, and many high schools in our school community. And for that, we're grateful. So thank you.
You know, we are here to look at the Master Forest Gardener because I know St. Ignatius High School has adopted the principles of forest gardening and has been actively promoting the principles of forest gardening. But before we get into discussing that, let us look at St. Ignatius High School. Give me the background behind St. Ignatius High School and where we are today with it.
St. Ignatius High School is a young, vibrant, and of course, welcoming high school. We started in 2001, and so we're at 2023. So we're about 21 years old. We cater for the socio-economic disadvantaged students, and now it has changed a little bit. So we have students that come from all walks with different intelligences. Some of them are very spirited. We say parents tend to say, my child is very energetic. Some of them may want to do what they want. But when they come to our high school, we define that differently. They're spirited children, they're spirited youth, and we believe that a lot of them are very disciplined at this point, because our high school then used to cater for students who basically the community would not want to deal with. And hence the word spirited came into effect. But if you come to visit us, you'll see the difference. So the school had to plan out not only looking at academics and sports and building the faith, but discipline was a major part. And as the principal now, this is my 10th year. So it's going to be my 10th year anniversary. And I could have seen from the beginning of time when I was a secretary in 2002, having to, of course, study, climbing up the ladder, and then applying for the position as principal. So I've been here for quite some time.
Yes.
Don't ask me my age, though.
No,
So that
no,
remains.
I could tell you mine, but I won't ask you yours.
So St. Ignatius High School has two divisions for the younger ones, ages 12 to about 17. We have the day division, and then we have the St. Ignatius High School Adult Education Evening Division. So we cater for adults ages 18 to about 52. We should have a graduate this year with age 52. Yes, she's doing an excellent job. She decided to come back to school, so that's a success story there. Yeah, so St. Ignatius High School too, we have a lot to offer, a lot of programs at the high school. Now we have included Street Law 101, which is basic legal literacy. We have the Art 101, Speech 101. We've recently added to our curriculum etiquette. So the students at the first term level do that, and there are other programs that we have included. What we're proud of at this time is that we also have the partnership with Magistrate Court and the Police Department, who are collaborating at this time with our Street Law 101. So that's another success story that we can speak about later on.
Excellent, excellent. I'll have to come and do a special show on St. Ignatius High School, because it's a school, like you rightly said, I hold very close to me, because I've been here several times, you know, and I've always admired the progress when whenever you come, you see progress, you see things happening, you know, so let's compliment you on the job that you are doing here as principal of St. Ignatius High School. But for this show, we want to talk about the Master Forest Gardener, Don Narciso Torres, and the importance of agriculture, because I think you have an agriculture component in the school, right?
Yes. Yes. This dates back at least for the last 6 years, the collaboration and the partnership with forest gardening, El Pilaran Forest Gardening, which we know the team. We have a mighty team, we call them. And these individuals have formed mentors, persons who guide us, persons who are friends of the Ignatius family. That's what we call it. We have Mr. Narciso Torres. We all know he's the master gardener. We call him Dr. Torres. We call him Dr. Torres. We have Mrs. Cynthia Ellis Topsy, and we have Dr. Annabelle Ford. These trio, along with others, we also had students from the University of Santa Barbara. They have always been visiting along with Mr. Narciso. Again, it's a team effort. They never leave one or the other out, or St. Ignatius High School. And so myself and the vice principal, Mrs. Pauline Gilhari Roberts, has been a part of this team ever since. We also have our agriculture teacher, Mr. Cesar Frutos, who has been teaching agriculture here for over 15 years. And so he has been a part of the team connecting forest gardening, connecting also home gardening. So it has not been only one aspect of forest gardening and agriculture, but also including our home economics program that we have. So whatever we do, we take it to the kitchen. That's what we see. And so Mr. Narciso has been with us. We know him especially because he's from Santa Familia Village. You all, I'm sure, will take the time to visit his farm. Please do that. along with Miss Cynthia, who has always been by his side, along with Dr. Ford too. But what is important to note is that as a young leader in education, these individuals have been part of this celebration, an award that he received. I'm sure you want to hear too, me being part of that delegation.
But I understand that you were there for the award that he received because of the closeness the school has with the group. So talk to me about this experience, and then bring it to how the students here feel about being a part of all of this.
Yes, so when we were sent the invitation, our high school, St. Ignatius High School, was sent the invitation. The chairman of the board received it as well. So the board said, well, Miss Neil, we have been with Dr. Narciso, Mrs. Cynthia Ellis-Topsy, Dr. Annabelle Ford. We've been with those teams. They've been with us. So why not take the opportunity? As a matter of fact, your letter says that you'll be a part of the delegation. And so I felt so proud. I'm like, I will be a part of it along with my vice principal. And so when at the event itself, the university had not provided one of those Chancellor's Award for probably over 30 years old. So being a part of the team and actually being present was, I can't even explain it. Because knowing who Dr. Narciso is, it was like this man and along with our community received this award. So Dr. Narciso, as humble as he is, getting this award on behalf of our community, which is a school community, his village, the twin town, the district, the country. It extended more to the country. It made me feel that, you know what, Dr. Narciso deserved it along with the team. Our school community feel that it was an award for our school too, because he has been a part of our team. He has been there guiding us. And like I said, he's humble, he works very hard. He's like, I'm receiving this award not only for me, but for the country of Belize. And as a young individual, being a part of a senior team of persons who are intelligent in their own ways, they're vibrant, like yourself, I felt more than proud. I'm like, well, there are people who are not leaving us young people out. They want us to carry this torch. And so our school has been a part of this celebration. And we, not only our agriculture program, forest gardening, whatever we're learning, yes, we actively continue to do that. But this award tells us, you know what? We can do even better. We can do much better. One of us at our school, anyone in this country, anybody working for you can get a splendid and an awesome award. So that was the experience that I had, and I will remember this until I part ways, all right, with Earth. So it was a great experience and one that I will never forget.
But how many students are enrolled in your agriculture program, and how is that carried out here in the school?
Okay, there are there's more than, if I can calculate it right, it's more than 200 students, because the general studies program is usually one of the larger programs. And because they do a lot of practical, hands-on, they get guests coming in, they have that collaboration. It's not only reading and writing and just the theory or the content, but it's a lot of practical work. So we have collaborations, partnerships, and that is what the students are gearing more to now. So it's not only academics that they're looking at, it's like, how can I build my skill? What can I be a part? I don't want to be this youth that I will just study and it's boring, you know. So there's a lot of high school now doing project-based. Right now there's the shift too in terms of curriculum reform, curriculum development, curriculum change. So that's an opportunity that the ministry has given our high schools. And so we look at it as something that we're grateful for, because we have been doing it. It's not that, oh, it's more work, but we keep doing more work. That is what the young people have been asking for. So truth be told, I have to applaud the Ministry of Education for taking up that reign to say that they're going to ensure that high schools get more project-based activities and work done in the high schools.
No, there are several high schools that do not include agriculture in their curriculum, you know. We won't single them out at this point in time. But maybe you can speak to me about the importance of having agriculture and things like forest gardening as part of a high school curriculum.
Well, Chief, I must safely say that now, after the COVID pandemic has hit, people have realized, okay, agriculture is not only for the poor people, because that's what they thought. Students would say that. We have students who are here whose parents are farmers and who were the ones making all the money during the pandemic. So that's only one basic example. If you do not know how to grow your own food, then it's going to be a sad time for you in your life. So at the end of the day, agriculture, forest gardening is important. It also helps us to budget well because things are quite expensive. Today, last year, 2 years ago, there's a lot of expenses in families. And so if you have a family, an extended family, or a lot of children, then you need to feed them. You made them. So agriculture and forest gardening, or just doing a little gardening behind your yard is quite important. And we've seen it with our program where our students during the pandemic time, a lot of them had food to eat because they knew that they're going to use their time wisely while they're locked up to use their parents' plant pot, recycle, whether it's cans, whether it's plastic bottles, and plant what they can. Cucumber, they did a lot of tomatoes, carrots, etc. And so they used their time wisely to do that. And so from what we know, from the data we gathered, most of our agriculture students were prepared. So while some of us thought that, okay, we can use our money to purchase agricultural products, then that was an issue. Also, during COVID, we call it the COVID tea. There are certain things that you'd buy and put together. Here at Narciso, we call it the COVID tea because, of course, as a principal, I had to work every day. I had to be here. My vice principal was here, the office staff, we were here. So we had our own little COVID tea. Again, we plant these herbs because, remember, forest gardening is not only about agricultural products, it's about plants and herbs. And so we were able to use that to be able to have our immune system up and running in the event we would get a flu or would catch the COVID virus. So these are just some examples, and we could go on talking about the importance of forest gardening and agriculture. But yes, for us, we were more at an advantage, and we, of course, are proud of our farmers. They tend to pay the bills faster, by the way. So that's something that I see is important for a high school like us, and I would hope that other high schools in our country, even primary schools, would get involved in forest gardening and agriculture. All right, it's more positive. It leans on a positive side rather than more on the negative. All right, and then young people and children would use their time wisely to assist families and parents and themselves.
To wrap up our visit, Cynthia Ellis-Topsy talks about the importance of the recognition that Dr. Torres received. She also spoke of the importance of the recognition for the work he has been doing for decades.
Okay, so we have come into a very dark area because it's covered by the trees.
Yes.
You can't even see the sun, right?
No, it's here I call it my secret place, or very my let's say my
Place of concentration, place of
more
prayer.
like that. So when my friends come, sometimes I bring friends and they will come. So the more friends come, they'll bring a rock. I bring a rock to sit down. So I have so much friends come already. So each one bring a rock to sit down on.
So all your friends, all these rocks here, a friend sat on each
Yes,
one.
yes, exactly. When they come from abroad, I make them bring a stone to sit down on. So I make a circle. I still make a circle soon.
I should have brought my rock.
Well, I had one tree that was the mama or the mother of all these trees here. That a tornado happened in the southeast street here, street here, on the other corner by the roadside. A little whirlwind started like this big. I saw it, and it come this way, and it catch like a strong force, and turn the tree on the top like that, and it break the top, and went back straight back again. So what I did, I throw myself on the ground like that, hug a tree like that, because it was so strong.
It was so strong, it would have
Yes,
pulled you up
yeah,
too.
it could seem like that. Yes,
Yeah.
I was a little afraid.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was very strange. Because when I saw the little whirlwind happen like this, it was like this big. When it appeared on the ground and it run this way, and then it hit the tree and it twist the tree on top and broke the top.
Wow.
Gone back again.
So where it came from?
And it gone southeast
Yeah.
to the Maya Mountain. I saw it far away when doing the tree like this.
No.
From a distance, I saw it when it's going, had a, make a like a path.
So that's why this became your sacred spot.
Yes, exactly. Of that, because this is a very important area. When the sun is very hot, I come here. It's like when you have like air condition. It's a very important place. Many people that come and visit, they like this area more than other areas.
Well, the reason it feels so nice is because it feels like AC indeed. We were out there in the sun hot coming in, and we came in here and all of a sudden it's dark. There's no light because of the density of the trees that are here.
And the importance of this, because these are food. All of these trees, cocoon trees are food. So you could have a heart of palm anytime you want. You could harvest one, because that's the reason I am growing more. Because time will come that people will be looking for food, and I know that a message was the last message that I get was that I saw the world a brown world with only three trees that were standing. That was the bread nut, the banana,
And the cocoon.
and the cocoon, and the cocoyam. Those were 4 trees standing that were green.
Wow.
All the rest were brown.
You have all those planted here.
Yes, all of those I have it here. So that's a message that I am giving always to people that will visit and come here. I tell them what the future is about, because we are not
We're not taking
doing
care of-
we are not doing our share.
No, Doctor, before we wrap up here, you brought me to your sacred place. You said, what's down there?
That's a stream.
A stream.
Yes, a stream there.
Okay.
But it's not running right now. When the rain starts, it will flood and run over the bank too.
Okay.
It's a strong stream when it's flooded.
I would like to say a big thank you to Dr. Narciso Torres for walking me around his area and bringing me to his sacred area, his sacred spot, right? And so thank you so much, Dr. Narciso, and congratulations on your award that you received in the University of Santa Barbara in California. Muchísimas felicidades. Lo felicito. You're well deserved, and as we can see, you are a wealth of knowledge on what forest gardening is all about.
That's what I'm doing for the world and for our Belize.
And that's for sure. I'm sure a lot of us learned a lot today from just looking at the various plants you pointed out. And we want to thank you again for doing that. But before we go, Don Narciso, we have been joined by Cynthia Ellis Topsy. Yes. And Cynthia, I know, played a key role in the award and in your recognizing you for the person that you are.
Yes.
Cynthia, how did all this begin, the process towards recognizing one of our great, outstanding Belizean stalwarts?
Well, thank you, Dr. Rene Kaala, with a doctor here, right? It's really it began in my heart, and I want to thank those who came before. You know, it's about family. We are one family in Belize and in the world, and you are actually an inspiration. You know, love FM, love is where it begins. Love of ourselves, our community, our family, our country. And my late husband, Harriet Topsy, who was the archaeology commissioner for Belize, he came after Dr. Joseph Palazzo, who, thank God, was recently honored. I was moved by the work of my husband, not realizing exactly the details of what he was doing. So I went to look for Dr. Annabelle Ford, and in finding her, she told me about El Pilar.
El Pilar, yeah,
And so when I experienced El Pilar, I didn't want to keep that to myself. So I called you.
yes, I remember.
And so it's like sharing and really understanding the treasures of what we have. And you remember you had said we have wealth untold. Our national anthem says that our motto for our country is under the shade we flourish, right?
Yes.
And so I have been blessed to meet all these awesome people, Dr. Narciso Torres and many, many others like him, whom he represents, not just Maya, but Garifuna. And Dr. Annabelle Ford was awesome enough to acknowledge us. That's the power of it, because there are many researchers who come here from all over the world. But unlike Dr. Ford, there is really not the readiness, and I'm not saying they're bad people, to appreciate and value our treasures. And so people like you and many others inspired me to to document and to give value. I really was encouraged by the excitement that you had by bringing your crew here that first time when we walked through El Pilar, and we did a reenactment today. So the beauty is that on this journey, I began to notice the awesome work that Dr. Annabelle does, and also that there were many other of the people of the community who she was getting the information from. And she kept saying it so many times that I said to her, well, you know, he deserves a doctorate. And the people who you have gotten the information from, that's what she would always say. I would not be able to do what I did if it had not been for the wisdom and the knowledge of these forest gardeners. So I said to her, well, okay, well, we need to put our money where our mouth is. I don't mean money, but you know what I'm saying, you know? Begin to speak it, begin to value, begin to lift up these treasures and these walking encyclopedias like Dr. Torres, right? And so we started to call him Dr. Torres because, I mean, one and one make two.
Yeah.
If she's saying that she got her information from him and people like him, and she have a doctorate, right? So that means that he have...
He's teaching her.
That's right. He's not a professor.
He's a professor.
So we started to call him and many like him doctors. And then one day it occurred to me, after a flood of researchers coming over 40 years, Rennie, to El Pilar doing research. I said, but Dr. Ford, wouldn't it be awesome if we would ask your university to give Dr. Torres a doctorate? And she said, well, they don't offer that. So I said, what do they offer? And she said, well, the Chancellor's Award. And so she had me speak to the Chancellor of the university about Dr. Torres and our work. And the beauty of our work is that we work as a team. In fact, we consider you part of the team.
Okay.
Because
I'm honored.
he is so humble that he includes us as part of the team. So he, even in receiving the award, actually, when I spoke with the Chancellor, he was so ready, excited. I was introduced as Garifuna. And you see how we stand up here? I don't know where you, Creole, Garifuna, Maya.
Good Belizean.
That's it. But that is the point. The point is that the uniqueness about Belize is that we are for everybody.
Yeah.
And so El Pilar for us, and I challenged you some years ago, me and Dr. Ford, El Pilar is a center of peace and healing and reconciliation. And our vision is that it would be a peace park, a heritage site. That's our passion. We push that, right? So when the chancellor said, okay, he will give Dr. Torres the award, then we wanted it, and you were there when we had a preliminary here in Belize by Obando's place, right? His family was generous enough to have us announce the award there.
And it rained that day.
And it rained, but that the rain stopped for make we have the function, and it starts again when the function begin end, right? So we led a delegation, myself, the principal of St. Ignatius, Vanessa Neal, vice principal, Felicita Cantone, and the president of the Garifuna Nation, Egbert Eugenio, and Frida Sidroff, and the council for Belize was there from LA, and that was the Belize delegation. And it was a proud moment for us when the chancellor handed Dr. Torres the medal. Never before had he given an award from the university, ever. That's the first time that he has done that in his 30-year tenure.
Oh, yeah, first time he gave a chancellor award?
Yes.
It was for a Belizean.
It's for a Belizean. And the thing about it, Rene, that was so awesome is that he is considered a citizen scientist.
Okay.
What that means is that this is someone who did not go through the university channels of academia, but is recognized and valued for the knowledge and the practice of being a forest gardener.
And that's what university does. They recognize the profession that you have chosen, your vocation you have chosen.
And so this is not for put down Dr. Torres, but he never finished high school. And that don't mean that you're not for finish high school, young people. But he develops himself through the grace of God, and so humble and generous in sharing his information. That is recognized by the University of California, Santa Barbara, and there were many people there, and it was a proud moment for us. We stand up, you talk about standing ovation when you were at St. Ignatius graduation. We stood up, and we stood beside him, Dr. Ford and myself. That like we may get the award. It was as if we got the award, and it's a proud moment for Belize, because this is like the Nobel Peace Prize for environment. That is how awesome it is. And we are yet to have an official presentation to the people of Belize when the mayor arrives. We were taken to, we met many people from the faculty and so on, and we were able to look at different aspects of Dr. Annabelle's work at the university, and hopefully when she comes in March, she'll be able to give an update on her perspective. But the welcoming was awesome. It was powerful. He was treated with regalia, the royalty that he is. And he carried we along with her. That is the part that I find beautiful about Belize. He, in his humility, Dr. Torres was not just, well, this is for me and puff up his chest. Well, he could, But this is like for Belize, for the children, for the people, for the country, for the region, for the world. And that is the power of this journey that we have been on and going on. And what is so beautiful is the fact that we had the principal and the vice principal there, because that sent a message that we are doing this for future and present generation, so that they can be inspired that science has a balance. Because many times, Dr. Rene, what happened is that we have ordinary, humble people in our community who have a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but they don't have the capacity to navigate scholarly institutions and so on. So they get unrecognized, unvalued when they are the ones who have made the contribution. For example, here in San Ignacio, we have a midwife, powerful woman. I hope you interview her one of these days, Nurse Simmons. She is a midwife who delivered thousands of babies and never lost one. And she's still alive. She's still around.
Amazing.
So we have many people like that. And so Dr. Torres is one of the steps that we are going to go through the El Pilar initiative, to unearth, unravel the treasures. We're not poor, Brené, And you may remind me that the last time when you visited El Pilar, that nature has blessed us with wealth untold. We are a wealthy people if we begin to get that sense of who we are,
We
and
need to
who
know
we
who
are a
we are.
part of. And so I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being obedient and for following through to make this happen, because you are a part of the history that has happened here. And we want to thank the people of Belize. And this is for all Belize. I like how you say for all Belizeans, for all ethnic groups. So even though we're promoting Maya forest gardeners and gardening, we are including all Belizeans. We are including all schools. We are including all communities. And our intent is to take Dr. Torres to show the medal all over the country. Make uno hug it up because of uno. It's ours. Thank you so much, Remy.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. And man, I can't. Can I say more? No, I can't because time won't allow me to. So, thank you so much, and congratulations are in order for the job well done in recognizing our good friend Dr. Narciso Torres. Right? Very good, very good. But you know something, lady and gentlemen, Dr. Torres identified something in him from he was young, judging from his story. He knew this is what he liked and this is what he wanted to be. He found a love from he was young for what he's doing. And he chose to love what he's doing and to develop what he's doing to become what he is today. So when we learn to find that love inside us and choose to go that route and guided by that love and inspired by that love, that is when we say, Belize and beyond, thanks for choosing love. Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what?